It's the last evening at Sirius Arctic Base Camp before the team head out into the wilderness on their main expedition. Leader Ben is making sure they travel as light as possible.
I don't want to see huge, gargantuan wash kits, all right? Dylan? Oh, my God. What have you got in there?
Toothbrush.
Yeah.
Toothpaste.
Yeah.
Deodorant.
Deodorant, bin it.
Bin it?
Yeah.
Has someone got a pen so I can rub my name?
Nobody has washed since they arrived in the Arctic a week ago, and Assistant Leader Emma has a surprise offer.
Are you all feeling quite stinky and nasty?
Yeah.
How would you fancy an Arctic shower?
No.
It's warm.
It's their last chance to wash properly for the rest of the trip, but only Fabian and Jenna Lynn volunteer.
Get on, Fab.
Even inside the tent, the temperature's well below zero.
As soon as you come out, that water's gonna be cold within like seconds. So I would just rather stay how I am, nice and warm.
If I'm stinky, so I'm not looking to do.
This is lovely and hot. This is a perfect temperature. Right, hot water and soap.
Jenny, what's it like?
Oh, that's a luxury. It's lovely. Thanks, Emma. Spirit.
The 2-week expedition will be extremely tough, travelling more than 100 miles by dog sled to a remote glacier. They'll be helping scientists check on global warming, vital research to help the endangered polar bear. It's going to test them all to the very limit.
Good morning. Good morning, you all right?
Morning. I take it that everyone slept well then. The last night of decent sleep. Lewis, is there movement there?
Matt is not moving at all.
Matt,
we know you're in there.
Go on, give him a shove.
Matt.
I think we've put them through quite a lot this week, and this tent is really cold. It's -10 in here most of the time, but they see this as a nice warm home. And so we've acclimatised them, I think, and they've mentally got prepared.
Too nice.
They're just about there. It's whether they're prepared for the duration, I think. I can see maybe a few people heads go down going, I don't know whether I can cope with this.
These next few weeks are the ones that are really going to count. This is the ones that are essential to helping the polar bears and the glacier and everything. So I'm like raring to go.
It's going to be really exciting, but I think it's going to be really, really scary as well, so I'm feeling a bit, nervous about that.
I reckon it's going to be quite tough. It's going to be really challenging. I don't think anyone is quite prepared for what's up ahead.
The next 14 days is going to be very, very hard. We're going to need to pull together as a team, all right? Now, it's a big breeze. Make sure you haven't got any skin exposed, all right? Because once we get out into the bay, it's going to be very, very cold indeed. Everyone up for it?
Yeah.
Everything the team need to survive in the wild is carried on just 4 dog sleds. The start of their epic journey takes them over the frozen sea, and despite temperatures of -40 in the wind, the team are enjoying the ride.
It's just so relaxing cruising along here. I enjoy it so much, and to know I've got 5 more days of this, it's luxury.
But soon they leave the sea ice behind to head into the mountains. Their route takes them over stunning frozen lakes. The Huskies have trouble keeping their feet. And Lewis and Adam's dog team refuse to go on.
Good dog. Good dog. No, get down, just run.
The dogs are scared of the ice, so they're too afraid to go across, because last time we went across, he fell through. Ivy, get up there. Ivy.
They're trying to stick to every single snow patch. Because we're trying to go over there, they're going the other way, basically.
After 6 hours of sledding, the team face a last major obstacle before camp.
Battle station, please, battle station.
A mountain lies ahead, and the Huskies are going to need lots of help to drag the sleds over the top. Jenna Lynn struggles to keep up with her dog team.
It was very, very, very tiring, and the snow was really deep, so it was like soaked you up like a sponge.
The wind was terrible. It really picked up and blew the snow everywhere. I think that's what made it hard.
Lewis is finding it particularly difficult. He's getting no help from his partner Adam, who's on the sled sheltering from the icy wind.
And Adam was just sitting on the sleigh. And I said to him, Adam, you're going to have to get up. The dogs can't pull you, yeah? And he just wasn't moving. He literally wasn't moving. I told him about 5 or 6 times and he didn't move.
I kept on getting shouted at by Lewis. And I knew why he was shouting at me, because I don't think I was like pulling my weight. Like, I don't think I was doing enough.
He tries to do more to help, but starts to feel really ill.
I think it's just breathing, really. I've never had the problem before, but when I get to the top, I'm going to have something to drink. So I think that'll make me feel better.
A final push takes everyone safely to the top, but the climbers highlighted the extreme difficulty of what they've taken on.
That is definitely the toughest we've had to go through on a sledge. But I reckon there's going to be some more patches like that throughout the trip, so I'm just going to have to get used to it, really.
Okay, get on.
They've covered 15 miles in a long, exhausting day, and they've still got to set up camp. They're on a frozen lake, and the first job is to tie up the dog teams.
We're just screwing this into the ice, so when we chain the dogs up, they can't get away. But it's actually quite hard to get it in, and you need to make sure it's firm.
Jenna Lynn's given the task of feeding the dogs. On the menu tonight is seal.
I'm all right with feeding them, even though it is seal meat, because at least it's going to another animal. It's not just dying and being left there to rot. It's going to go in them, and then they're going to use it as energy, so that's all right.
What we need to get is this tent up and fixed, so if the weather gets inclement, at least we've got one good shelter, all right?
But after working hard all day, few are focusing on the job in hand. Matt's getting frustrated.
Guys, can you get the tent ready? Like, just get it out and then get it laid out.
I don't think some of the people in the group are taking this seriously enough. To them, it's 10 minutes messing around, but for people who want to get done, it's 10 minutes standing in the freezing cold, getting colder and colder.
We need shelter, and there's so many more things to do tonight. And at this rate, we're not going to be bed until 10, 11 at night, and they're going to be exhausted for the next day.
Girls, where are you putting your tent?
For safety, the leaders step in to get the tents up as quickly as possible.
You're going to have to move around, yeah, because you need to be on a diagonal to Matt.
Watch it, guys. I'm not happy when you do that. Oh dear. That's making our tent go to the inside. Wait. Ah, it's the wind.
Guys. Did I not say you're not supposed to light the stoves without me here? For starters, we're not lighting it that close to the tent wall. You're in a really flammable tent. Turn all the gas off, please. Just turn it off.
Turned it off.
Ben said we have to have something
Can you
boiling.
put us outside,
We have
please?
to keep topping up.
All their water comes from snow, and it's 10 o'clock before enough is melted to make supper. The mood in camp is at a low, and thoughts turn to home.
Didn't expect it to be this hard, really. And I'm actually beginning to get a bit homesick.
I miss my mum and dad so much.
Out here, everything's an effort. Nothing's easy. It's like when you go home, you can flop on the sofa, just take something out of the fridge and eat it.
I was looking forward to going on the actual expedition, but now I'm not anymore. Just setting up your tent every day and taking it down and putting it up and taking it down again. Can't be bothered.
They're all completely drained, and when Fabian misplaces something, it pushes him over the edge.
Please.
Think, Fabian, where did you last have it?
I had it in my fleece, and it's not my fleece anymore.
Yeah, you definitely had it yesterday.
He's lost his lucky mascot, a small bear.
Sleeping bags. But you may have just remained in your sleeping bag somewhere.
Rocky's been everywhere with me. It means everything.
It's gotta be here.
Can't wind it. Can't wind it. Can't wind it. No.
Double check in between the two layers, because that's the most likely place that it's going to be. Yeah? In fact, we'll start on the floor there. Move your sleeping bag. You got him? Cool.
Oh, he's got him.
Excellent.
Yeah, wicked.
Well done.
Yes, so, bro.
Thank you.
Fabe, you're going to be all right? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Right, guys, night-night. Sleep well, and I'll see you in the morning.
All right. Night, Ben.
Overnight, the temperature drops below -30.
Got the energy.
To avoid having to leave their tent in the night, the boys each have a bottle to wee in, and Adam's had a bit of a mishap.
We had an accident with a pee bottle last night, so Adam's managed to soak the inside of his sleeping bag and soak his right arm of his jacket, which is not particularly pleasant. So we got a bit of an issue drying out all that kind of stuff this morning.
I left the top open, went back to sleep. About 5 minutes later, I woke up. I thought, no way. And all of it was just all over my sleeping bag. It's all down my right arm. It stinks. I don't want to put my arm in my right sleeve, but I'm going to have to eventually, but oh, it's mad.
There's a lot of ground to cover once more. But after their late night, everyone is worn out. Lewis is fading fast.
Walk, guys, walk.
You want to jump?
I'm so exhausted. I've just been having like the worst night's sleeps ever. I don't have no energy left in me. I could just about carry myself up the hill. I don't know.
At the moment, you're severely down on liquid, all right? So you need to just top up.
All
right? It's basically dehydration rather than lack of food. It's just out of fluids, and liquid is energy.
I'm getting a bit better. I can actually really feel it, actually.
Keep taking that liquid, all right?
Trying my hardest on the sled to do as much as I can. It's not that I'm not trying, it's just I'm a bit really tired.
It's been a tiring day for everyone, so I just fell asleep briefly.
Am you alright? I feel really tired. I just feel like dead drowsy.
They'll need to wake up fast for a tricky section of the route coming up ahead.
It's going to require maximum effort to hang on tight when we're actually navigating all the rocks and boulders on the downhill stretch. Just give it a shove. That's it, it's going to go now. Okay.
Come on, let's go. Good dog. Now go ha, 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 ha. Then Allie, over. Good dogs.
Get over!
Emily and Alex narrowly escape an accident.
Break, 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 break! Good show. Good save.
But Jenilyn and Courtney aren't so lucky.
You all right, guys? Sorry about that.
Another day, another camp to set up in the Arctic wilderness. And the girls are finding it hard to put in ice screws with their tent ropes.
We're in quite deep snow, so we have to dig all the way down to the ice, which is about like a foot down. Come on, Alex, put your back into it.
Lewis has a simpler solution.
This is what we're going to use tonight to keep our tent in, because there's enough snow to keep these in. All you have to do is pack this down and put a lot of snow on top, and then it's strong enough to stay in.
The girls' team is sceptical.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? They come out straight away. Our tent will stay up and doesn't blow away somewhere. Hope you all wake up with no tent over pushing it into the snow.
The girls dig for more than an hour but can't find any ice to put their screws in.
The biggest thing is that where they started looking for ice, there was no ice. And that's why the girls are behind at the moment.
Reluctantly, they have to go over to the boys' system, which is working well.
And you can wipe that smirk off your face, Lewis.
I did tell them, and yeah, they didn't listen, so own fault really.
They're shattered and very cold. Tempers quickly start to fray.
They did it wrong, yeah, so we did them the favour of moving the thing. But now we can't, now we've got the problem.
Well, then why don't we turn the sled round so it's like that instead of like that? Well, that's what we tried to do at the beginning, but you wouldn't listen. No! Oh my God, you're such a liar!
Just because we finished before they do, they think that it's our problem and that's our fault if their tent's not put up quick enough.
That's what I said, I'll come help you, then you said no.
We've had no help from the boys. All they've done is laugh and talk about us, and it's really, really getting on our nerves.
No, you're moving in the wrong direction now.
They never helped us, so why should we help them?
None of you help us anyway. You're meant to be our team as well.
It's a joke. There's like no point in this. Everyone's just shouting at each other, and instead they should just get some work done and stop bothering the other people and stop shifting the blame.
Guys, don't everyone get so stressed, yeah? Just calm it down a bit, everything will be fine.
The severity of daily life in the Arctic is starting to take its toll.
This hair has not been washed for, let me think, 12 days.
Look at my skin. Look at it, it's gross, it's so dry.
If you think you can change your underwear every day, you've got another thing coming.
I've got this horrible, dirty, spotty face. It makes me feel sick.
The pants I'm currently wearing will be staying on for the rest of the 10 days of the expedition.
But the young adventurers are finally starting to get into the polar routine.
Last night I actually got the best night's sleep that I've had since I've been here.
We got up when we was told to, so we didn't lay in or anything, and because of that, it was easier getting up instead of like being told when we did. So a really nice sleep.
We promised that in the morning that we'd get it really quickly, so we'd get our stoves going and get all our food ready so that we'd be warm quickly, and we did, and it's worked out really well. So I think we'd probably do that every morning now.
They're now experienced enough to start to drive their own dog sleds.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. It was absolutely brilliant because when I first did it, I thought there's no way they're going to listen to me and they're just going to slow down and grind to a halt. But actually, I managed to keep them going for about an hour and a half.
Oi! Tiberius! Oi!
You feel like really in control, and it feels really nice to think that if you have got to the top of the hill or something, that you've like commanded your dogs and led them the right way to go. Hey, good boy, Raven. Good job, good job. Come on, come on.
You can't just say, oh, go a bit faster, please, or something like that. You've got to really shout it. And I think I surprised everyone about my nasty side because you have to bring it out.
All right.
Get down. That's like if you're telling them off. But if you go, good boy, good boy, good boy, that's like saying it's good in like a high voice. Good boy, good boy, good boy.
I think it's the best thing I've done all this trip. I really, really enjoyed it.
Oi! Let's go.
It's been a day of high spirits, the Arctic at its best.
That is so scary. Go on your belly.
And this time they all pull together to get their camp set up.
Once we've got our tent up, then we're going to help the boys get theirs up so that we get it done really quick.
They realised doing it separately didn't work at all. So all 8 did one tent and then all 8 did the other, and they all helped each other, and it was great.
But in the middle of the night, the unpredictable Arctic strikes back. A ferocious storm rips through the camp with winds of up to 100 miles an hour.
I got a pole in my head to wake me up, and then the whole tent had just come down.
It's just the winds are blowing really hard. These winds have suddenly got up, they're gusting so fast that I'm being pushed over. and the girls and boys' tents, the big pyramid tent, just can't handle the wind. Well, it's really, really quite harsh at the moment.
The whole tent was just like collapsed, and it's so horrible because we're just in the middle of nowhere.
As the storm rages on, their tents are being torn to pieces.
These both our guidelines, because the girls' tents come down as well.
Trying to get ready to go. We have to move, but everything's covered in snow.
It's so scary.
I think we need to get out. Where are we going?
The team are quickly relocated to smaller tents which are still standing.
It's been the most horrible night of my life.
First light reveals a scene of devastation.
I think we must have had 100-mile-an-hour gusts last night, and some of these tents have been to the Antarctic, they've been to the North and South Pole, and they've never had this happen to them. So, you know, having snap poles is very, very strong wind.
It was awful. Totally, totally awful. I hated it. It's like all my fears into one.
I did cry a bit because I was really scared, and it's not nice when you wake up covered in snow in the middle of the night and freezing cold.
It was a massive shock waking up with like a tent on top of you and everyone kind of screaming and, you know, thinking they were going to die.
It's a relief that I'm still here, but I think I'm just very happy to have it's over and done with now.
But the shock of the night's events starts to hit Matt badly.
It's not that bad. I know it seems at the moment like it's all out of control, yeah, but it's not.
It went too far because I was already afraid by the wind.
I know you were.
It just collapsed on top.
I know you were. I know you were. You're a strong guy. Don't get freaked out by this. We need your help, yeah? You're key. If you go down, we're stuck.
Struggling.
You're not. It's all in your head, yeah? You're in the most extreme environment. And we've had a pretty horrendous night. So I think you're coping incredibly well, especially as you were already freaked out about the wind.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
With over a week still to go on the expedition, the storm has been a stark reminder of the realities of Arctic life.
I don't feel happy about sleeping in a tent now, but I know that there's no other option, so I'll have to.
Last night I was really upset, but if it happens again, then everybody will know how to cope.
Now I know what could happen every night. I'm a bit scared and I just don't really feel that safe anymore.